I'm TK, and I'm the Gentleman Gardener. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Kratky method, which is a wonderful, simple, inexpensive way for you to grow almost anything in a hydroponic way. We're going to be talking about sweet basil today. So as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the Kratky method today. The Kratky method is a hydroponic system that created by Bernard Kratky. He was an University of Hawaii researcher, and he created what it was meant to be a scalable solution for growing green leafy vegetables in shared reservoir of high nutrient water. And so, but this is a wonderful system that can be adopted for the home. So what you have in front of me, this is a sweet basil plant that I had just put into the Kratky system yesterday. I'd started from seed, and you can see the sweet basil right there. But what you'll notice here, once again, one of the things I try to stress here is you do not need to spend a fortune to grow great plants, and especially if you're going to do it hydroponically. So what I did was, I'm just going to move this down for you. So this is a really simple system, and what I did was, this is an old peanut container, plastic peanut container which had a 2-inch opening in it. Okay, so I take that peanut container and I get some nutrients. I make some nutrients, and I get a 2-inch cup, so little 2-inch net cup that you'll see right here. You can get these probably if you buy them on Amazon. I'll put the link below. You're gonna be able to get this for 50 cents a piece, and so you really can get them very inexpensively. And then you mix up your nutrient, which we're going to talk about in a second. You put the net cup in the top. You get some clay pebbles. You could use, I use these clay pebbles that you can find on Amazon, but you could really use anything to hold that in place. It could be rock wool. It could be styrofoam, even. Just basically what you're trying to do is give it a place for the plant to have support, and for the root system. Now, what you'll notice here, one of the key things in doing the Kratky method correctly is that I do not fill all the way up to the top, right? What I'm going to do is all I want, and I'm going to zoom in there so you can see, just for the roots to be covered, but you want the top of the roots uncovered because you want that oxygen to be able to get to it. Now, you might be saying, TK, why are you using the weird ass sock here? Well, it's important that once you do it, that you cover it up. So you just slide the sock. I found that if I use an old dark sock of mine, you can actually cover it. And why do you want to cover it? So that when the light doesn't get in, you don't want the light in, because then it's going to grow algae, and that algae actually eats your nutrients. So that's really all there is to the system. Let's jump over, and we're going to talk next about how we do the nutrient-rich solution. Next, let's talk about the nutrient-rich water that you need to create to use the Kratky, or frankly any other hydroponic system that we may talk about in the future. Right now, for this one, I'm using General Hydroponics MaxiGrow. I use the instructions that are right on the back. This plant's got a little bit of a root development already, so I kind of use the stronger, which is 2 teaspoons. I fill, once again, don't go out and buy expensive things. We drink almond milk here. I use an old almond milk. I mix it in with regular tap water. I mix it up. I usually let it sit 2 or 3 minutes to let it soak in. Once that mix is done, then I test it to make sure that the pH is where you want it to be. You really want your pH to be between 6.5 and 7. You can go as low as 6, really, and it'll work just fine. But I have a cheap little pH tester, and then I want to check the parts per million to see, and I have this little tester. Got this off of Amazon for, I think, $7. I use it to test parts per million. It'll also test temperature and some other things. Less important for what I test it for, but I try to test parts per million, ppm. You'll hear people talk about the ppm, and that's how concentrated is the water nutrient. And really what I'm looking for is a water nutrient in the ppm between 1,000 and 1,200, 1,250. And that's where I try to get it. And then once I get all that right, and the pH level's right, the ppm's right, I pour it in, once again, all the way up to the level that we talked about. This is TK Kugler, the Gentleman Gardener. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the Kratky method. Future video, we're going to come back and look at this basil and see how it's doing and talk about how we kept it growing. So go out there, grow something you can eat.